Welcome. We shall continue on page number 130, Beehive, paragraph number 5, our chapter, Kathmandu. I consider what route I should take back home. Now he is deciding, he has traveled a lot, seen a lot, or wrote things on it because he does that. And now he is deciding how shall he go back, what shall he do now. So I consider what route I should take back home. If I were propelled by enthusiasm for travel per se, I, per se means by itself, I would go by bus and the train to Patna. So he is deciding that if I get a chance, I am deciding to travel this way, that first I shall take a bus and train to Patna, then sail up the Ganges, Ganges means river Ganga, past Banaras to Allahabad, then up the Yamuna river, past Agra to Delhi, but I am too exhausted and homesick. So here his the entire route he is just telling to us that this is the way from Nepal when he will go to the Patna, from there Banaras to from the river Ganga, then Banaras, Allahabad, then through Yamuna, and he will visit to Agra, then from there he will go to Delhi. But he says I was very much exhausted, means I was very much tired, and homesick means he was missing his home. Now he wanted to go home. By doing this, this was the entire route that is describing from where he is going to go, because now it was the time to go back. So he says, and but I am too exhausted and homesick. Today is the last day of August. Go home, I tell myself more directly. Towards home, I enter a Nepal airline office and buy a ticket for tomorrow's flight. So, the entire course he had decided that where he shall go from Kathmandu to, he would go to, he wanted to go to Delhi actually, and the route was a bit lengthy. So, and he says he was very much tired, so he did not wanted to go or travel that way. So what did he decide? He decided that directly he should take a plane from Kathmandu to direct Delhi, so he could save time. He wanted to be home as soon as possible, and by traveling by bus it would take him very long time. So he decided that it is better if he took a direct flight, so he could reach very early. I look at the flute seller standing in the corner of the square near the hotel. Still, what he is watching, that when he was deciding all these things, he saw that there was a flute seller who was just standing near the hotel. In his hand is a pole with an attachment at the top from which 50 or 60 bansuris, bansuri means flutes, protrude in all directions. That we can see that he had lots of flutes and they were in all directions, the basuris, like the quills of porcupine. Now when he saw that picture, when he saw that person with lots of flutes and he was selling those, it reminded him of the animal porcupine which has lots of thorns on its back. So they are all bamboo, and these flutes are made up of bamboo. There are the there are cross flutes and recorders. For time to time, from time to time, he stands the pole on the ground, selects a flute, and plays for few minutes. Here he says that whatever what he stood, then he used to remove one of the flute and he used to play beautiful music out of it for few minutes. The sound rises clearly above the noise of the traffic and the hawker cries, and the sound was so melodious, so sharp that it was heard very clearly amongst the lots of sound of the traffic and the hawker crying, shouting, but the flute was very clearly heard. He plays slowly, meditatively, means thoughtfully, and without excessive display, and he is just playing. He doesn't want to show anyone that he is playing, but he was just doing his job, and that's what the author loved. He does not shout out his wares. He doesn't need to shout that he is selling those flutes. He has to just play that beautiful music. Anybody would understand that he is selling flutes. So he doesn't need to shout like the other shopkeepers selling things, but he just played, and everyone understood that he is selling. Those who wanted, those who were interested could go and buy. He does not shout out his wares. Occasionally he makes a sale. So sometimes he says that he makes a sale, somebody comes and buys, but in a curiously off-handed way, as if this were incidental. Offhand means casual, not showing much interest in something, incidental to his enterprise. Means he was not much at that time when he was selling. He was not much excited also while selling. He was just a calm person who was doing his job and without having much interest in it. Sometimes he breaks off playing to talk to the fruit seller, and many times he stops and he talks to the fruit seller who is selling fruits. I imagine that this has been the pattern of his life for years, and by this he notices that this is how he does his business for years. He keeps on playing, and that is just very natural for him, and he talks also and tries to sell his own goods. I find it difficult to tear myself away from the square. And here he says that it was very difficult for me to uh, just leave that place. And when he was watching all this, he was very much interested. Flute music always does this to me, because the music of the flute the writer was too much interested in, and he loves that music, he loves the flutes. It is at once the most universal and most particular of sound. That is the best sound he thinks which comes out from the flute. There is no culture that does not have its flute, and he says that there are in mostly all the other cultures too. Uh, the flutes are sold and people play flutes, but the thing is that the flutes in different regions are different. The size is different, the sound that it creates is also the different. The reed, that is known as ne, the recorder. The Japanese is known as the shaku shakuhachi. That is the name in Japanese, and means they there also they have the flutes. The deep bansuri that we have in India, it is called, the flute is called bansuri of Hindustani classical music. The clear of breathy flutes of South America. Even in South America, they have the flutes, which creates a different sound there. It, the reeds are also different there of South America. The high pitched Chinese flute, and again there is a very high pitch, means very sharp sound comes out of it, and it's the Chinese flute. It is also different. Each has its specific fingering and compass. That is the way, the fingering is the way that placing the fingers to play the different notes. Means those holes which are on the flute are different in all the different flutes. Through that the sound is made. So it is different. It weaves its own association. Yet to hear any flute is, it seems to me, to be the dawn of the communistly commonality of all mankind, to be moved by music closest in its phrase and sentences of the human voice. So here he says that flute actually means, here the writer shows his love for the flutes. He loves the flute, the sound that comes out, and he does not love only one kind of the flute, he loves all kinds of flute, because he thinks that the sound that comes out from the flute is really very very charming, very very different, and he loves that sound. He says that sound is totally different from all the other instruments, because there is no mechanical device much used in a flute. It's just the wind that blows in that brings out the sound. So it is very very pure and clear. None of the mechanism is needed, no electronic device has to be added. It's just sheer pure music that comes out in a very natural way. That's what the writer is trying to say, and he loves that, and he says that it is the best thing that I like to listen. Its motive force too is living breath. it too needs to pause and breath before it can go on. And that is how you play the music, that you need to pause because you have to blow air, and to blow air you again need to breathe. So the player, whoever is playing, he has to continuously breathe in and breathe out. So it's just the writer is telling that it's just like our human breath, that we have to take in and give out and breathe before you can go on. That I can go so, the last paragraph he says, that I can be so affected by few familiar phrases on the Basuri surprised me at first, for on the previous occasion that I have returned home after a long absence abroad. So here he says that I can be affected by, he says that I can be affected by few familiar phrases on the Basuri. Surprised me at first, he says, for on the previous occasion that I have returned home after a long absence, because he was a travel writer, he used to travel a lot everywhere, and many times he used to not be at home for a very long period, because he had not only to travel but he had to travel, and even he is a writer, so he had to write the experiences, so it took him very long many times. And this is what he says, I have hardly noticed such detail and certainly have not invested them with the significance I now do. And here he again speaks about his experience and also the love for the flute, that he says that hardly notice such detail, it comes out with lots of detail, and certainly have not invested them with the significance I now do. So here we come to the end of the chapter Kathmandu. Uh, you shall you shall read the chapter, understand it. It's not a very big chapter, it's a very short chapter, and nothing much complex or complicated in the chapter, very easy one. So children, do just read down the chapter. Until we meet again, thank you very much.